All right, let's dive into the 5 a.m. Club. I gotta say, this book is a real page-turner.
Yeah, it really pulls you in, doesn't it?
We've got an entrepreneur. She's like on the verge of losing her company.
Oh, wow.
And then there's this
What?
artist who's kind of searching for like meaning,
Yeah.
And then they've got this mentor, a billionaire, but he first shows up as like a homeless guy.
It's a pretty wild premise.
It really makes you think about success, like what it actually means.
Yeah, like what are the ingredients? Is a morning routine really that important?
Right. So the story kicks off at this super intense seminar.
Okay.
It's run by this mysterious figure they call the Spellbinder.
Interesting.
The entrepreneur, she's desperate to save her company.
Mhm.
There's a hostile takeover happening.
High stakes.
Yeah. And the artist is already a follower of the Spellbinder, hoping for some creative breakthrough.
I see.
But when they meet this supposed guru, he's dressed as a homeless guy, but wearing a crazy expensive watch.
What?
Yeah. And he's spouting all this deep philosophy.
Oh, that's a great twist. It makes you wonder, how often do we miss out on wisdom because of appearances?
Exactly. But even in disguise, this billionaire drops some serious knowledge about morning routines.
Like what?
He's talking about like world-class routines. Oh, they're the key to unlocking your potential.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
And then, get this, he whisks them off to Mauritius. All expenses paid.
Seriously, that's pretty lavish for a homeless guy.
Right? It's not your typical personal development retreat.
Yeah, definitely not.
And during the trip, he gives them these golden tablets engraved with like principles for success.
Oh, fancy.
It's all very mysterious and sets the stage for a major transformation.
I can see that.
Then they arrive at this luxurious island retreat,
Okay.
and their homeless mentor, he reveals his true identity.
I bet they were shocked.
Totally. Turns out he's not just a billionaire. He was a student of the Spellbinder himself.
Wow, so he's carrying on the legacy.
And he even steps in to help the entrepreneur with that threat against her company.
Oh, wow, so he's putting his money where his mouth is.
Exactly. He's not just about talk. He takes action.
That's impressive.
So then we get into his actual teachings.
This is where it gets good.
One concept that really stuck with me was granularity.
Granularity.
Yeah, it's about focusing on the smallest details, striving for perfection in every aspect.
Interesting, I've never heard of that.
You give all these examples like Formula One racing teams.
Okay.
They're like obsessed with keeping their pit areas spotless. Even a tiny speck of dirt could mess up the engine.
Wow, that's dedication.
Right. Or think about Vermeer, the painter.
Yeah, I know Vermeer.
His paintings are so incredibly detailed, like you could reach out and touch them.
They're incredibly lifelike. It's amazing.
It makes you think about the power of precision. Like what could we achieve if we applied that to our own lives?
It's a good point.
But the core of his 5 a.m. method is this thing called the 20-20-20 formula.
The 20-20-20 formula.
Yeah, have you ever heard of that?
No, tell me more.
So imagine this. You wake up and boom, you jump into 20 minutes of intense exercise.
Whoa! Starting the day strong.
It could be running, HIIT, anything that gets your heart pumping.
I see.
Because research shows that exercise, it doesn't just give you energy.
Right.
It actually boosts your brain power too.
Okay, that makes sense.
Then you shift gears.
To what?
You spend 20 minutes in quiet contemplation.
Ah, so it's like a balance of the physical and the mental.
Exactly. It could be journaling, meditation, just reflecting on your goals.
Creating that mental space.
Yeah, it's about clarity and intention, setting yourself up for a productive day.
I like it.
And then the final 20 minutes.
What's that for?
This is all about learning, feeding your mind.
Okay.
You could read, listen to a podcast, review notes, anything that expands your knowledge.
It's like a mini power hour for your brain.
Exactly. But the billionaire doesn't just stop at productivity hacks. He goes deeper.
Deeper? How so?
He talks about the 4 interior empires. Have you heard of this?
No, this is new to me.
It's like 4 key areas we need to cultivate for real fulfillment. Mindset, heart set, health set, and soul set.
Wow, that's a lot of sets.
Right. He really encourages the entrepreneur to challenge her limiting beliefs.
Like what kind of beliefs?
Well, he talks about this thing called learned victimhood.
Learned victimhood.
Yeah, it's this trap where we start blaming external factors for our lack of progress.
Oh, I think we've all been there.
Right. It's easy to feel powerless when things aren't going your way.
Definitely.
But he's saying we need to take ownership, recognize our own power to create change.
It's a powerful message about personal responsibility.
And then, just when you think you've got a grasp on his philosophy,
What happens?
he whisks him off to India in his personal helicopter. to see the Taj Mahal.
Of course he does. The man loves a grand gesture. But why the Taj Mahal? What's the connection?
He uses it as this amazing metaphor for habit formation.
Okay, I'm listening.
He's saying that building a new routine, it's like constructing this massive monument.
I see. It takes time, effort, and a clear vision.
Exactly. And he even breaks it down into a 4-part pattern.
What's the pattern?
It's trigger, ritual, reward, and repetition.
Okay, that makes sense. It's a framework for making change stick.
And he talks about the stages of habit integration, how you go from breaking old patterns to installing new ones, and eventually they become automatic.
A process, right. It takes time and effort.
Yeah, it's not an overnight thing.
Definitely not.
But speaking of time, what about sleep? I mean, this guy's all about waking up at 5 a.m.
You'd think he'd be preaching minimal sleep.
Right, but that's where it gets interesting.
Okay, tell me.
He brings in the spellbinder to explain why sleep deprivation is actually terrible for us.
Really?
Yeah, they even visit the Roman catacombs to drive the point home.
The catacombs?
Yeah, these ancient underground cemeteries to symbolize how our potential dies when we don't rest.
Whoa, that's intense imagery. So he's saying sleep is essential, not optional.
Exactly. He's all about a sustainable approach to success, balancing intense effort with strategic recovery.
It makes sense. You can't burn the candle at both ends forever.
And then, because why not, they hop on scooters and end up at the Spanish Steps.
No, this guy really gets around.
I know, right? It's like a whirlwind tour of Rome with personal development sprinkled in.
Sounds fun.
And at the Spanish Steps, he introduces this concept called the twin cycles of elite performance.
Twin cycles, what's that all about?
It's about understanding the importance of both work and rest. Like you got to have periods of intense effort, but you also need to strategically recover.
Makes sense.
He gives examples of famous geniuses who were also really good at playing and relaxing.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, like they knew how to recharge their batteries.
It's about finding that balance.
Exactly. And then, just as you think the day's lessons are over,
What happens? Another surprise.
a drone delivers a gift, of course.
This guy loves his dramatic entrances.
Inside, they find a framework for an amazing day.
Ooh, I'd love to see that.
It incorporates all these principles they've learned,
Feel like a valuable resource.
but there are these new terms, like the 90901 rule and the 6010 method.
Ooh, intriguing.
I know. But before he can explain what they mean,
What happens?
remember that thread against the entrepreneur's company?
Yeah.
Well, it seems those investors aren't backing down.
Oh no, the plot thickens.
Things are about to get real.
This is getting good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it gets worse. The hostile takeover, it escalates.
No,
The entrepreneur gets another death threat.
that's awful.
This time it's even scarier. They say someone's on their way to actually kill her.
Oh my gosh. How does she even function with all that stress?
I know, right?
It's amazing that she's even trying to focus on personal growth with all this going on.
It really shows you the power of mindset work.
Yeah.
She's really taking those teachings to heart about overcoming fear and finding her strength.
You can just see her transforming from panic to like this courageous defiance.
Yeah, it's remarkable.
And the billionaire,
Yeah,
he's totally calm, just assures her that it's being handled.
the man of mystery.
I know, right? You get the feeling he's always a few steps ahead, like he's playing a different game entirely.
Yeah, he's like a master strategist, right?
Totally.
Handling those external threats while still guiding his students on this inner journey.
Expressive.
It's like true leadership. It's about both outward success and inner mastery.
Absolutely. So let's circle back to those productivity techniques he mentioned, the 90901 rule and the 6010 method.
Oh, yeah, those sounded interesting.
Okay, so fast forward a few weeks, and guess what?
What?
The entrepreneur and the artist, they're married.
No way.
Turns out the billionaire orchestrated the whole thing to bring them together.
Wait, seriously? He was playing matchmaker this whole time?
Yep, the guy's full of surprises.
I mean, it kind of makes sense, though. He seems to have this deep understanding of people,
Yeah, like he could see their potential connection and just nudge them in the right direction.
That's pretty amazing.
And get this, as a wedding gift, he finally reveals the secrets behind those productivity techniques.
Oh, perfect timing. Spill the beans. What's the 90901 rule all about?
Okay, so it's all about focusing on your single most important task for the first 90 minutes of your workday, and you do this for 90 days straight.
Whoa, that's intense focus.
Yeah, it's a laser-focused strategy for like maximizing productivity and getting those breakthrough results.
It makes sense, though, if you dedicate your best energy to the most important thing, you're bound to make progress.
Exactly. It's all about creating momentum, getting those exponential results.
I like it.
And then The 60-10 method, this one's about balance, work sprints, and recovery.
Okay, tell me more.
You work for 60 minutes straight, like deep focus, no distractions.
Got it.
Then you take a 10-minute break to recharge, clear your head.
I could get behind that.
Yeah, like go for a walk, listen to music, meditate, anything that helps you reset.
It's a good reminder to take breaks. We often forget to do that.
He also talks about tight bubbles of total focus. Have you heard of that?
No, what's that?
It's about creating a dedicated space for work, like eliminating all distractions.
Makes sense, like turning off notifications, putting your phone on airplane mode.
Yeah, or finding a quiet spot where you won't be interrupted.
It's about setting yourself up for success, creating the right environment.
Exactly. He even suggests noise-canceling headphones or ambient music, to block out distractions.
I do that sometimes. It really helps.
It's all about optimizing for deep work, getting into that flow state where you can do your best work.
I love that.
But he doesn't neglect recovery either. He actually recommends getting 2 90-minute massages each week.
Whoa, that's a lot of massage.
Right. It might sound like a luxury, but he argues it's an investment in your well-being.
Okay, I'm listening.
Because when you take care of your body and mind, you're more productive, more creative.
It's all connected.
Exactly. And he also suggests 2 WW-do, meaning 2 wonderful walks each day.
2 walks.
Yeah, 1 in the morning, ideally in nature, to connect with the world, and 1 in the evening to unwind before bed.
I can see how that would be beneficial.
And then there's 2 MP, 2 meaningful moments of play each week.
Play. I like the sound of that.
Right. You could be spending time with loved ones, hobbies, anything that brings you joy.
It's a good reminder to prioritize those things. It's not all about work.
He emphasizes the importance of laughter and connection for our overall well-being.
Absolutely. We need that balance.
But just as the entrepreneur and artist are settling into their new life, implementing all these techniques,
What happened?
another curveball,
Oh no, what now?
that hostile takeover attempt.
Yeah.
Well, it seems the billionaire's efforts to handle it haven't completely worked.
Oh.
And now the entrepreneur and artist are caught in this dangerous game, like cat and mouse with these investors.
This is getting intense.
So they're in Brazil for their honeymoon,
Trying to enjoy married life?
and suddenly
Oh, what up?
they're targeted again.
Oh no.
A gunman, he corners the artist, threatens his life.
This is terrifying after everything they've already been through.
I know, right? It's crazy.
But the entrepreneur, she's like a different person now. She steps in, confronts the gunman.
Wow, that's brave.
It's amazing. She's using everything she's learned
Yeah.
about mindset, courage. She's risking her own life to protect her husband.
That's incredible.
It's like all those 5 a.m. workouts, the mindset exercises,
Right?
they forged this inner resilience in her.
She disarms the gunman
No way.
and convinces him to run.
She's amazing.
It's so powerful to see how strong she's become.
It really shows you the transformation.
But the danger's not over.
I bet.
They realize the gunman was just a pawn.
Oh, no.
Those investors, they're behind it all.
They're relentless.
The stakes are higher than ever.
This is serious.
They're fighting for their lives, their freedom, everything.
It's a true test.
Of everything they've learned from the billionaire.
Right. Their resilience, their resourcefulness.
Their bond, their commitment to these principles.
It's all on the line now.
They go to the billionaire,
Of course.
and he's totally calm, unfazed.
Like always.
It's like he expected this all along.
He's always one step ahead.
So what does he do?
He reassures them.
Okay.
He has a plan, he says, to keep them safe and to win.
He's like a chess grandmaster.
Right. Always thinking several moves ahead.
He's teaching them more than just business.
Yeah.
It's about life, about winning in the game of life.
It's about facing challenges head on.
Exactly. Overcoming obstacles.
He tells them to focus on what they can control.
To let go of blame.
Channel their energy towards a positive future.
It's a message of hope. Even in the face of danger,
It's powerful.
we can choose to rise above our circumstances, create a life of meaning,
It's inspiring.
and then he gives them one final gift.
What is it?
11 magic charms.
Magic charms.
Each one represents a key principle, a maxim for a fulfilling life.
Oh, wow. That's beautiful.
It's like the culmination of all his teachings
A guiding compass.
for navigating life's complexities.
Love it.
The first charm, it's a mirror.
A mirror.
It symbolizes self-awareness, owning your inner magic.
That's deep.
Right. It's about understanding ourselves, our relationship with the world.
It all starts from within.
Then there's a flower.
Okay.
It represents experiences over material possessions.
So it's about simplifying,
Yeah, finding joy in the simple things.
connecting with nature.
And there are charms for gratitude.
Hmm.
Love over fear, forgiveness, service.
They're also meaningful.
These charms, they're reminders of his teachings.
Right. To guide them.
Inspire them to keep growing.
To live a life that's both successful and meaningful.
That's what it's all about, right? So what are the big takeaways from the 5 a.m. Club?
Well, it's more than just productivity tips.
Yeah.
It's a story about transformation,
Resilience.
finding your purpose.
Living a life of impact.
It challenges us to redefine success,
To find that balance between work and rest.
to embrace the power of a morning routine.
It's about inner strength, resilience, connecting with our values.
The billionaire, his methods are unconventional, but his teachings are profound.
He makes you think differently.
Challenge your assumptions.
Embrace the possibility of an extraordinary life.
So as you go about your day, ask yourself,
What resonates with you from the 5 a.m. Club?
what are your own magic charms?
What guides you towards a life of purpose?
Productivity.
Joy.
The journey to mastery, it's ongoing.
Filled with challenges, triumphs.
Embrace the adventure
Stay committed to your vision.
and never stop exploring.
The infinite possibilities within you.